Fire in the hole. Welcome to Fro-Dog Arcade Repair. Today I have a special item. This is a brand new, in the box, new old stock. It is a Kortek Imperial 19-inch monitor. We come around here to the back. It is a KTN-2001. Now, this unit has never been plugged in, never been lit up. I was the first one to take it out of the package and tear the plastic open on it. I'm going to leave the protective film on the screen here. I just don't quite feel right pulling it off for testing. I think we'll be able to see through it fine. But rather than light up this unit straight away, this unit is from, what was the date code I found on it? 2011. So, this being August of 26, that makes it 15 years old and just about ready to get its driver's license. So, in the interest of providing this to a customer who has the desire for a burn-free, minty-fresh, great restoration project, I am going to go ahead and put a cap kit in it so that we have fresh caps starting day one, and it goes into great service for him and gives him hopefully the next 20, 30, 40 years of fantastic service in his cabinet that is a centipede restoration. So, let's get that chassis out of the tube and frame, get it on the bench. Let's check it over. Let's do a cap kit. Alright, we have the chassis off of the CRT and we have it here on the bench, just like everything. Let's do a good visual inspection. Do a little bit of component straightening here. I guess it just goes to show you that sometimes your not straight or bent over components actually have nothing to do with the chassis having been off and moved around and sat in a box or shipped. That maybe the factory just doesn't always put things in a nice, smooth, orderly fashion. Alright, again, we have our model here, KTN-2001. This is a 19-inch monitor from Kortek. One thing I notice is we have our power supply connection here and our D-Gauss connection here. The nice thing is these pins are spaced at different widths. You can't mix them up, but it's a good thing not to mix them up. We have, it looks like, our CGA input here. Red, green, blue, earth. Vertical, horizontal, earth, vertical, horizontal. My guess is we've got positive horizontal and negative horizontal. I would say these are our negative horizontal separated out here by themselves. It's just going to depend on what your game outputs as to how it would connect, and it's split nicely so you can use a 6-pin and a 3-pin to split that up for you. Overall, things look really good, as they should. Now that is interesting. For having cracked the seal on it, I'm a little surprised to see some factory flux, but I I wonder if that's part of QC. In later years, QC would have been a little more important. I wonder if after wave flowing, they didn't QC it across the bench and perhaps touch up anything they didn't like the looks of. The only thing I see that I would touch up would probably be these yoke pins. I'd like to see them just a little thicker for the long term. But that's really it. Just because I always do, I'd probably go ahead and thicken up the RGB inputs. Now this particular unit is a switch mode power supply, so it does not require an isolation transformer. We can see our power come in here, our degauss thermistor, bridge rectifier. We have our switching transistor, our power supply transformer for the switch mode power supply, and then looks like we push it back out through a couple of diodes. All looks pretty straightforward and looks to be in good, unused, minty fresh condition. I don't see any dust, dirt. Of course, no heat stressing. I think one of the next things I would like to do just after this inspection is let's light bulb test it. Let's see this old girl light off. Oh, I know. Let's finish our visual inspection here with the neck board. We'll replace these wire ties so it will continue to look factory fresh when we're done, and because I'll clean the board of any flux on the bottom, it will actually look better than factory fresh. So when it goes on the CRT, we've got our color transistors looking up at us, and that orients our protector for the neck board. Same thing here, a little bit of flux, like some maybe factory QC. But yeah, I say we light it off and light bulb test it. So I'll get set up for that. Be back in just a moment. All right, welcome back. We're set up for our light bulb test. One note to point out is your ground connection. Your heatsink for your HOT and your vertical IC are at chassis ground potential. The heatsink over here in the power supply that your switching transistor is connected to is not. I have the HOT out of circuit. The HOT is a Fairchild device, a 6808D as in David. I believe that D also probably stands for damper diode, but we could look that up. We have our AC connection. We have our ground connection to our meter and our light bulb. And we have our test point over here on D403. It is the cathode of D403 to catch our B+. And we're hooked up. I do have the anode in a glass jar, but our that's more just to keep it out of the way. Our HOT's out of circuit. We will have no high voltage. So let's check if our power supply works. Fire in the hole. All right, there we go. We have our light bulb, 125.7. Without anything else hooked up, I'd say that's probably in the ballpark. I believe I'll look the spec up on this at 110, but that's going to be on a tube, image, warm, all that good stuff. So there we have it. How to light bulb test a Kortek KTN-2001. Be back in just a moment for our stage 2. Okay, we're set up and ready for our stage 2 light bulb test. Our HOT is back in circuit and soldered in. You can see it in there. And the other thing I did was I did hook up the remote board. A lot of times chassis do not like to run without the remote board, and I think it's best to test them, and if you're going to especially energize beyond the power supply, it's a good idea to have them plugged in and hooked up. So, power, test point, ground, our connections to our light bulb for our dummy load, DC volts. Everything is out of the way. Our anode is in the jar. No time like the present. Fire in the hole. There it is. I can hear it sizzling in the jar. We have high voltage. So there is our stage 2 light bulb test on a Kortek KTN-2001. Alright, let's dive into our cap kit. It does seem a little bit of a shame to put brand new caps in a brand new monitor. One thing I wanted to update. I believe I read the date code wrong. It was 0811, which I initially interpreted as August of 2011. It is actually 2008 November. So this chassis is from 2008 and it is 2026. So we are 18 years in. I mean, that's pushing 20. It makes sense for longevity and reliability to make sure that the caps are fresh instead of 20 years old. So, without further ado, let's dive on into it. Alright, welcome back. We have the chassis and neck board and whatnot back in the frame and on a tube. I just couldn't bring myself to peel the screen protective plastic off, so I decided to light this chassis up on my test tube first. And here we go. Fire in the hole. That is a fantastic looking picture. All right, now I'm going to come clean on something. I put it on its original tube, but did not peel the screen protector off. Was not happy at all with what the picture looked like. Exceptionally bad purity. I'll show you that here in a minute, and I believe I know what's going on. But to prove out the chassis, I put it on my KTN-2001 test tube, and I did dial it in for a beautiful picture before I turned the camera on. But no, the chassis is working fantastic. Good geometry, good colors, all the things are working, all the adjustments work. It is just a beautiful looking image on my test tube. Now I'm going to cut away and I'm going to put this back on its brand new out of the box tube, and we'll look at it and talk about it. All right, we're on the brand new Samsung tube that this unit came with. What I'm about to show you is almost enough to make you sick. Look at that rainbow purity. The purity rings have not been touched. The factory seal on the purity rings is intact. Turn the fly back down just a smidge. Colors need tweaked a little bit, but that is not a degauss problem. Notice anything else? What's supposed to be there? What's supposed to be there? Red, green, blue. I think this tube took a hit in shipping. I think FedEx bounced it. I think the purity is a loose and dislodged shadow mask, and the green gun isn't firing. We have the exact same hardware on another tube, and it's a beautiful picture. We put it on this brand new Samsung tube that it shipped with and came with, and we have no green. And we have purity out the wazoo problems. Again, the paint seal on the convergence and purity rings is untouched, uncracked, unmoved. The FedEx shipping destroyed the tube. So, like I said, it's enough to make you almost want to cry, because these don't grow on trees. They don't make any more of these. You cannot get another tube. And this is a brand new old stock unit. That's supposed to be black and white checkerboard. Just heartbreaking. So, that is the story of the brand new Kortek KTN-2001 monitor. Spectacular chassis, creates beautiful picture. Just doesn't do it on this tube. The tube's been shipping damaged. Thank you for joining me at Fro-Dog Arcade Repair. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it useful, or at least entertaining. Please subscribe below, like, follow, and share with your friends. And remember, fire in the hole.